In the last few years, international marketing has played a bigger role in the economy than ever before. It comes as no surprise that they've had to adapt to the brand new world that has been created by this pandemic. To tell us about this, we're having Manuela Borges with all the latest marketing news.
Hello, my name is Manuela Borges and today I am going to report about international marketing in pandemic times. Well, we all know that this pandemic has changed everything drastically, and if we focus on how is the marketing going due to this unpleasant event, we are going to dive more deeply into it. According to some interviews that we have made to international companies, they have told us that it's been a hard situation because due to coronavirus, people are abstaining of buying anything through the internet, and because of it, the sales percentage have dropped considerably. Some of the small online businesses are having issues on keeping their business afloat because all of their buyers are extremely cautious and they rather not take the risk. The international companies keep shipping worldwide, managing all of the sanitary measurements. If you wonder, all of their employees are safe by working at home because the companies don't want to expose anyone unnecessarily. It's been a very tough time, but all of these companies are looking forward to get back to normal and being able to get back to the safe ceilings. Thank you.
Having to stay home to comply with social distancing rules has led us to do some things differently. Some industries have benefited from this, like delivery, video conferencing, and apparently toiletry manufacturers. But some others haven't been doing so well, mainly because people are just not buying their products or using their services anymore. Knowing this, we'll listen to Isabela Duran and Camila Viteri, who are talking about what people have stopped consuming during quarantine.
In this time of need, our reality has been altered in one way or another, from our ability to freely move around the city to our eating routine. Indeed, during the quarantine caused by COVID-19, the percentages of consumption of certain food products were affected. Among these are organic products, whose main cause of low demand has been their early expiration dates, being replaced with other products that are more effective in terms of their durability, such as canned, bottled, and overall processed and packaged products. This alteration is leading us to acquire unhealthy eating habits, even more than those we already had, which can easily damage our overall health, including the fact that most of us don't have a reasonably arduous and constant exercising routine, not now and neither in our daily lives. Now I will introduce you to my partner who has more information about the measurements taken by our local governments in reason of the current situation.
Taking into account the efforts of the government to keep the condition of the most vulnerable steady in face of the situation presented by COVID-19 around the city, the best working alternative in terms of health and nutrition seems to be the support that is being held in the field of food consumption, with the help provided through the police forces, in which the products are included, taking into account their expiration dates, especially in organic products. But even though the government is helping, this issue needs to be solved within our society. This is something we are all affected by. Taking care of ourselves is everyone's responsibility. The getting through is in everyone's hands.
Coming next, we're going to talk about what has happened with the Colombian exports during the quarantine by Eliana Ruiz.
Hello, my name is Eliana, and I'm reporting from Sabanas Business Journal. Behind the arrival of COVID-19 in Colombia, the economy in general has been affected. Although the government tried to protect the import and export, I can say that regarding the export of Colombian coffee, one of our flagship products as a country, a large impact, especially at the end of March and during April, because due to mobility restrictions, the transport of coffee from the production plants to the treasures for the process and then to shipment to port from the export was affected. Likewise, the absence of day laborers for coffee harvesting as they could not be mobilized internally to the farms. It should be clarified that the situation not only happened with coffee. In general, the impact was high for trade, product exports, and as they have over the days, flexibility measures have been taken regarding transport, allowing workers to move among others, while looking for solutions to improve the situation a bit in the midst of the pandemic we are experiencing, as far as possible and in order to regulate a little more the flow of exports so the country is no longer affected economically and neither are their workers.
We all know that one person that orders everything online, even their groceries. Not that staying at home is an obligation, some of us have started doing the same out of necessity. Electronic commerce, or e-commerce as it is known, is more important now than ever before. That's why we're listening to Isabel Hernandez, who's telling us about all the latest updates in e-commerce.
Sabanas students, due to the abrupt change of customs and habits caused by the COVID-19, we find ourselves in the need to talk about the influence that e-commerce will have on the execution of national and international business. It is well to know that the exchange of products has traditionally been carried out in person through stores. Companies are now required to modernize marketing management by evolving into digital marketing strategies and implementation e-commerce for their companies that either replace or complement their physical stores. Colombian e-commerce chamber, in partnership with Observatory and Commerce in order to promote the development of virtual strategies, conduct a study in Colombia about the customs and shopping habits of Colombians in 2019. By this time, 2019 e-commerce was already important. Now, after the pandemic, it is estimated that in 3 years, e-commerce will be the third part of the world's race according to the Dinero magazine. Thanks to the 50 million Colombians, Amazon, Alibaba, or Express based on our economy as a distribution platform from Latin America. The question for dear Sabanistas is whether our country is ready for it? Well, I want to tell you that according to the El Tiempo, we lead the growth of e-commerce in Latin America. For example, according to the marketplace of Mercado Libre, in just 4 weeks there was 387% growth in online transactions. Our Colombian entrepreneurs are being supported by the ICT Ministry developing new business digital transformation centers and also transforming their business with digital sales. After the coronavirus, e-commerce is the new reality of business.
We've talked about how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected everything from the stock market and the service industry to banks and marketing firms. But I think that what's most important is that it has affected families and individuals. So now, for our last coverage, we're having Sara Cuervo and Melanie Rodriguez, who will be talking about simple ways to save money during the coronavirus pandemic.
Hi, my name is Sara Cuervo, and I'm going to give you some tips to save money in this coronavirus pandemic. Tip number 1. Avoid asking for home food delivery and cook with what you have at home. Tip number 2. If you're going to buy something, try to be on discount sale. Tip number 3. Don't use your credit card if it's not necessary. And the last, tip number 4. Reshare your electronic devices 100% so you don't reshare them in the rest of the day. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Melanie Rodriguez. I am going to give you some tips to save money in this pandemic. Tip number 1. In the daytime, if it is not necessary, have your light bulbs off and take advantage of natural light. Tip number 2. If it is not necessary, try not to buy certain things and thus save money. Tip number 3. Consume own brand products from supermarkets. Tip number 4. If you are about to finish cooking, turn off the fire and take advantage of ambient heat. Thank you, bye!
It's now clear that COVID-19 has changed everything, and it's our responsibility to adapt to new circumstances. Hopefully, watching this broadcast made you more aware of economic and business subjects that affect all of us. Thank you for tuning in. I am Miguel Aristizabal, and this was Sabanas Business Journal.